Hi, everyone. We're back again for our regular Friday get together of what's new and coming up with Lipedema. I'm Leslyn Keith with Lipedema Project, and I'm here with my friends and colleagues. I'm just going to go around to everybody, as starting with Gail, who's to my left, but I'm not sure how it is for everybody else. But Gail, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Gail Straker. I'm the community manager and the director of coaching for Lipedema Simplified, and I love being here with all of you.
Yeah. And Catherine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Seo. I'm founder and director, and I'm here with my buddies because we laugh a lot. This is our Friday laugh
And
club.
laughter is so good for the lymphatic system, right?
Uh-uh.
And Siobhan.
Hello, I'm the research specialist with the Lymphedema Project, and I also usually laugh a lot.
Yes. And we're so glad to be here with everybody today to let you know the exciting things that are coming up for lipedema. There is a lot happening, and we are tremendously busy coming up for some events that we got coming in the next, well, one tomorrow and then another the following weekend. So we're really going to focus on those today. But while you're thinking of it, if you're here watching us right now live, wow, please put something into the comments. Say where you are. Be lovely to hear what the kind of weather you're experiencing right there. I'm in right now sunny California, but we have been tremendously rainy and cold. Well, cold for California. Catherine, how is it in Boston?
I need to say something. So,
Mhm.
even though we laugh a lot, we're in a bit of a mourning process today. And so, if there's something you can share in the chat, we would welcome it. But Siobhan's cat passed away this week, and her cat was just wonderful. Her cat was just so much. I keep saying that the cat had the blessing of Siobhan as her mom for a couple of years. And I think we just need to hold that as a community right now because I can't personally. I mean, I have two cats, and if they were to go, I think I would go with them. I've had long talks with both of them that say, you don't get to go until I go. So you're going to like sit one on one side and one on the other side. And when I die, then you get permission to go.
Yeah,
Just
so anyone watching, make sure to take a couple moments, go have a conversation with your pets, whether they're sheep or cats or dogs or whatever. Let them know they do not have permission to get sick or unhealthy or old or any of that. Not allowed. Just make sure that they know.
yes. And since your cat passed, I've been having these conversations with Bella and Karamia, and like long conversations about that because I can't, I don't, yeah, as I said,
Yeah, I assumed that Kiva knew, so I didn't have that conversation with her. And we can see what has happened as a result. So have the conversation, let them know. Not allowed.
yeah. And
But
so we just want you to know how much we love you and how important it was that Kiva had you for so long because that was the high point of her life. Um, I went because we're having a memorial service for her over the weekend, and I found a picture of you petting her, and she was just in heaven. She was
yeah, I have at least like 100 to 200 different pictures of her because like anytime she was sleeping, I'd take pictures. And like the other thing is, I also wanted to. I mean, they're not gonna watch it anyway, but I wanted to extend my thanks to the vet because I did take her in to put her down because she had a significant worsening over the weekend and she had cancer that wasn't anything that they could do about. So it was the right choice. But they were really supportive during that time. Like, they completely understood how difficult of a decision that is. And the head vet stayed with me the entire time, talked to me about it, talked to me about his own pets. And then one of the vet techs, Delaney, came up afterwards and gave me a hug. And it was an interesting thing because I had just texted my boyfriend, like, after she was gone. I had texted him, I just hope she knows, like, how much I love her. And when Delaney gave me that hug, she was like, I just wanted you to know she absolutely knew. Everybody here could tell, like, you loved her. She felt that every second. Everyone here felt it. And there was no way she could have known. Like, I had told my boyfriend that, but she told me what I needed to hear. Because it's like, oh no, to the point where a cat can understand. Like, I just hope she did understand that. But yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. And she knows how much you loved her. We all know how much you loved her. We would have hour-long meetings where she would be at the center of the meeting.
Yeah,
She
she'd
would
be
be
sitting
great.
on my lap, cuddling, especially if I had my hoodie on, stuff like that.
Yes.
And she had such a transformation over the past 3 years. Like, she really opened up. She came from a not exceedingly bad background. And she really just flourished and gained a lot of confidence, and her mental health improved and her physical health improved. So I'm glad at least she was able to experience that, and she didn't only have negative experiences through her life. And like, at the end, you couldn't even tell that she'd ever had a single worry in her entire life. She was very, very happy. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah. And, from a Buddhist perspective, it means she's completed her karma as a cat, and she's going to come back as a higher form of consciousness. Except I have this sneaking suspicions that cat is the highest form.
Yeah, she's graduated all the way up. She's in nirvana now.
Yeah. Cats have the perfect life. They eat, they poop, and they get pet all the time. That is not a bad life.
Oh my gosh. And I've heard that the cat goddess sends out her scouts, and those are little kitties, and they show up and they stay with the ones that are the good ones. So that's why we always have cats, because they always show up here off the street, kind of like they know who they need to be with.
Mm-hmm.
So my love to you, Siobhan.
Yeah, I'm actually going to the vet right after this because they offered to make a clay paw print. So I'm going to pick that up.
Yes, nice.
Oh, that's
Very
good.
nice. And there is a whole bunch of comments being posted, Siobhan. So you can see all of those.
Juanetta said, next incarnation, I'm coming back as a dog with a neurotic owner like me.
Yeah, really. I've said the same thing, Juanetta. I said, if I were to come back, which I'm not planning on, I want to come back as my cat. I'm just wanted to take a little bit of time from our usual pitter patter, because I think it's important to recognize and hold space for Kiva.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Catherine. And it is, I want to let everybody else know that also we had something that came up this last week also, that I was invited to speak at a lipedema support group, a virtual support group that happens at UPenn. And of course, Judy, one of our ladies, had word of it, so she put it out everywhere also. And I have to tell you, Judy, that you did get twice as many people to come. So I saw that it was about 31 people who came to that support group meeting, and it's usually 10 to 15. So well done, Judy. And I think, Catherine, you also sent out a notice too. So it got the word out, and more people came to the support group than normally would have, which is pretty neat. I don't know what they usually do to get the word out for their support groups. So UPenn does have this virtual support group that happens once a month. I don't know if we can post any information on that, Gail, but it is something that people can find out about, because it used to, you went there in person, but now, of course, you can go there virtually. So this is another way of people can get support, because it's not just the UPenn people and going there virtually to their clinic. You can go there and be able to get support online, kind of like we do. It's Lipedema Simplified. We've always done everything with our community together virtually.
Did you want me to put something in the comments about it?
Yeah, I'll have to look up and see what the link is to get more information about it, so people can find out more. But
I'll get it. I have it in my email, so I'll get it.
Do you have it?
Okay.
I want to say that it was so popular. I got so many emails from people asking if there was a replay, and they don't record them, so there was no replay. So I said to Leslyn, wow, you are one popular lady. So we're gonna have Leslyn do a free webinar for our community. What she did for UPenn, she's going to do for our lipedema community sometime in April or May. So be on the lookout.
And it actually was partly of stuff that I was getting ready for our big event, our Fresh Take on Lipedema and Lymphedema big event that's coming up March 31, April 1 and 2. And I'm going to be doing like a quick start info on lymphatics and stuff like that. And I was on Gail's podcast talking about the amazing lymphatic system. And so I just kind of put all of that into a short presentation for the support group. And I guess people really liked it. So we will do that more on that. I used a couple of slides that you had put together, Siobhan, about being kind to yourself when you're trying to make changes to your diet and listening to your body to help guide you. So there was information from Siobhan in there as well, that we will do another free webinar coming up after our big event. But let's talk about our big event that's coming up. It's a heart-to-heart because it's a collaborative community event, but it's also the fresh take on lipedema and lymphedema solutions. Let's see, who was going to talk about that? I think it was Gail.
It's me. And the saddest thing about the whole event, the only one sad thing about the whole event is I'm not going to be there, because I'm going to be on a cruise. However, the title is a fresh take on lipedema and lymphedema solutions, a heart-to-heart collaborative 3-day event starting on March 31st and then continuing through April 2nd. And this is a totally different type of event than you will find anywhere. When we say it's collaborative, it means that you're going to get to go in and you're going to get to talk to people just like you. You're going to get to interact with the speakers, and your solutions that you're coming up with on your own are going to be shared with other people who are coming up with solutions on their own, and you're going to share them with each other, and then you're going to share them with the bigger community. If you were able to go to our boot camp last summer for Lipedema Awareness Month, or if you were able to go to our last Heart to Heart event in October, you know how this works. But if you weren't, and you come to this, you're going to be absolutely thrilled with the way this event is held. It's not a webinar or a bunch of speakers who just speak and then, you know, you listen and, you know, you carry on through your day. Oh no, you're going to be involved. And so we have how many speakers, Catherine?
25 of us.
Whoa, 25. And 3 of them are right here with me right now, right? So the amazing us are going to be there, and then 22 more people. So you're really not going to want to miss this. And I put in the comments, you will see it. It says heart to heart, and then it has the URL. So make sure that you click on that and register for it right now while you're listening to us. Like right now. And then give us a thumbs up when you're done.
And you know that Gail is always looking for some love. That's right. Thank you, Ruth, who sent some love. And some people talking about, let's see, Marcia in Texas, Cindy in Stratford, Ontario. Debbie is in Utah. We got people all around the world, all around the US, especially. Juanetta says it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit with winds, 17 miles per hour winds. So it should feel warmer than it does. That's right. I know I've been complaining because it drops down to 50 here, you know.
We had like snow here a couple days ago. It's fluctuating at that end of winter stage.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it gets worse in the early spring, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we have something else coming up.
Yes.
Like tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. And this is almost like a nice little intro to what you can expect for our Heart to Heart event that's happening the following weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, a free webinar all about lipedema and lymphedema, a special Q&A. Let's see, Siobhan,
That's
you were
me.
the one. You were going to be talking about that. Tell us.
Yeah, so first up, one exciting thing I saw is I noticed on Twitter, Amy Berger, if people know, like in the keto low carb space, she had actually retweeted the Q&A announcement and said that she had signed up. So she's going to come and be in the chat and like, oh, we're getting attention from Amy. How exciting. But what it is basically is all the questions that you have, those things you just can't get answered anywhere else, or you just want someone to chat to about it. You can come tomorrow and we'll be there to answer any and all questions as well as we can, at least. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of fun. There's always great questions that come up. At Low Carb Denver, actually, someone had come up and asked me a question, was like, oh, sorry, like asking you this weird question. It's like, no, like I want the weird questions because they're the ones that make you think a lot more about things that you might not otherwise. And even the simple common questions, easy, like what kind of compression do I start out with? What grade of compression? All of that stuff, keto questions, anything you got, bring it to us. And we will be answering and spending time together, probably laughing as always, and just being there for each other is the main thing.
And we're asking for people to submit their questions ahead of time. I sent you guys a very long list of
the questions we have so far. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have some really interesting questions. So it's going to be a really good session. So do come.
So Catherine, do they send those questions to you at
no, there's
it's part of the registration.
It's part of your
it's part of the registration.
There's the link.
And I put the registration link in.
Did you register, Gail?
I haven't registered. That's why I didn't know, because I know I should be registering for all this stuff, but I'm there. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's like, I
register.
know I'm going to show up anyway.
So
Until
don't
it's
count.
like, oh no, where's the link?
Yeah,
Then I
yeah.
go and register.
So but I did put the registration link in the comments
Mhm.
for this. So if you look in the comments, you'll find it. And if you don't look in the comments and you want to just see it to show up below us, it's this. If you want to write it down real fast.
Yeah. And also keep in mind too that if even if you can't be there, you're not available Saturday tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, register, because you can then get the replay. Only the people who register will get the replay. So if you want to make sure that you at least have access to the information, even though you can't be there, please register.
We have some new people here today.
Yes, I've been noticing a lot of things put into the comments. And I'm just looking at the latest thing that got put in there from Deborah Forster. Would any of you ladies know of a doctor who treats both lipedema and I think maybe you meant to
I'm
say
assuming lymphedema, yeah.
here on Long Island in New York? And so I would suggest that you check out our provider directory. It's a map, and then it lists a bunch of people throughout the US, but other places in the world as well, but mostly the US. And you may see someone listed on there. That's at lipedemaproject.org or lipedema-simplified.org. Is there somewhere else that people should look, or do you know of someone, Catherine?
No, the directory is, I'm putting the link in the chat.
Excellent.
It is Lipedema Project that it's on.
I thought
And
there was also a link off of Lipedema Simplified too.
yeah,
And
it
also
hyperlinks.
add,
It hyperlinks, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hyperlinks to Lipedema Project.
yeah, I'll also add in that area, especially if you are low carb, Dr. Tro Kalajian is in the New York, New Jersey area. He is an obesity specialist and he works a lot with like low carb, keto, carnivore stuff. But I know for a fact he has seen multiple of our presentations. He's super open to working with people with lipedema. And he has access to us if he has questions and stuff. So I believe he also diagnoses if that's something that's important to you. But he's also super sweet and a really good doctor if you're looking for one.
Yeah, where is he? I didn't know that. I knew he was
New
on the
Jersey?
East Coast. Where is
Yeah, I think he's in New York. It's like right on the border of New York and New Jersey. I've been there before.
he? Can you put his name in the chat? He's wonderful. I met him at Keto Fest.
Yeah, I don't have access to the chat, but his website is drtro.com, doctortro.com. And I'm looking, he also has a podcast if you're interested in low carb.
He does.
Dr.
Yeah, I got it in there.
Yeah.
drtro.com. And his webcast is called Low Carb MD, correct?
Yeah, with Brian Linskus as well.
Brian Linskus.
Yeah, and then the other thing is he is also licensed in all of the U.S. states. So even if you're not in that area, you can actually reach out to him for telemedicine as well.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Siobhan. Is he in our
And I
directory?
talked
He
to-
should be in our directory.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because I did talk to, he had a booth at Low Carb Denver, and I talked to some of the other providers in his office. They all can see, I talked to a woman, and I can't remember her name, but also a physician in his office. She knows about lipedema. I guess he's got the whole office interested in it.
Yeah.
So could see anybody virtually and get it billed to your insurance from that office. Gail.
I have a question, because this is something that always baffles my mind. So if I go see a doctor about lipedema, let's say a general practitioner, or let's say I go see Dr. Tro, what is he going to do for me?
So
how is he going to
yeah.
treat me?
Right. And so, and I think that is, I think some women who do that, they think that they're going to get treatment from the physician, and physicians, there are some out there that will treat you, but physicians, for the most part, do not treat lipedema. They are more like your coordination of services. They're going to refer you, help you find the specially trained lymphatic therapist who would then provide you with treatment, or if you need surgery, provide you to, that referral to that surgeon, or if you need, something that happened to your knee or your foot, provide you to that specialist. If you have vascular problems, send you off to the vascular specialist. So they help coordinate to meet all of your needs, but they don't typically do not physically provide treatment for lipedema. One exception is Dr. Emily Eicher, who's in Santa Monica, California. She has a clinic that she specializes in lymphedema and lipedema, and she not only will you come in and she can diagnose you, but then she also provides treatment there at her clinic. But that is more rare. That's not typically what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, and then with Tro, there's a couple things. For one, if you wanted to explore ketogenic diets or carnivorous diets for lipedema, that is something he works with a lot. So he could help a lot with that. He has group sessions with people for accountability, support sessions. Like, I think he said the average amount of times each of his patients comes into contact with any section of his clinic is around 400 times. So they're a constant contact type of people for that level of support. And then the other thing is, from talking to him, another thing that he does is he advocates a lot for you. So typically with just how the medical system is structured, it tends to be silos. But he tends to reach out to endocrinologists, potentially lymphatic therapists, all of that, to help you build a team. Like, it's not payroll, but I'm not. I just like him a lot. So that's another thing, is kind of helping to coordinate your care and get it all in place, and then having that basic information from watching presentations and learning about lipedema and stuff like that to be like, okay, well, we're going to work on this together, and here's some areas we can start, and kind of helping from there.
Okay. And for example, Deborah says she was diagnosed by a vascular surgeon who I went to about veins, and all he did was give me compression socks, which I hate. So this would be where another doctor who knows more about lipedema would come in and say, and this is a lymphatic therapist that you can go see and get help that way, or massage therapist or whatever, to get more one-on-one help, rather than here you got socks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, more
And,
discussing the options, and then
right.
you have the ability to say, I don't want to do that, I do want to follow this, because that's essentially what I did with my doctor. Is he doesn't treat me physically, but I keep him up to date on my care. And then if I have additional questions of like, is there a lymphatic therapist in the area, or can you help me get this or this, then that's where he'll kind of step in and help out.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank
one of the
you.
things that so many of the ladies find frustrating is there isn't a magic bullet. There is not, here, try this, try that, try this, try that. That's what we do. And that
Yeah, pretty much.
is.
And I do know like 2 or 3 doctors who are educated enough about lipedema to say, okay, here's what this is in general. Here's the kind of symptoms that come with it. Here's the type of stuff you can start on. So compression, nutrition, aquatic therapy, activity, manual lymph drainage will help you find a lymphatic therapist or a massage therapist or someone who can help. So it's like, where do I start? And working with someone, to have someone to talk to be like, I think this is my major priority, and then helping with the guiding of that.
And all these questions are going to be wonderful if you can bring those questions to our webinar tomorrow.
Yes,
Mhm.
this is exactly the type of thing we're going to talk about. And everything from someone who's brand new to lipedema and kind of you don't even know the questions to ask, all the way to someone who's been dealing with it for a long time and now wants to find out, is there something more? Can I do more than I already am? Or is there something new I can try? So we're going to have just a very wide range discussion tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. So
Ladies, TJ in the chat, she said she changed her diet to keto and she lost 14 pounds in the past month.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes,
and I hope you're
very
feeling good too.
Yeah. Yep. Very good. And TJ, I would suggest to you to start now tracking everything else, not just your weight. Make sure you track what is your pain level, what's your energy level, what's your clothing size. Well, all these things, think of whatever else you can, because these things are going to change and you're going to wish that you had written down what originally it started as.
You know, a big one is your mobility.
Yes.
So are you winded, or are you having a hard time making it up the steps, or can you go up steps? And now maybe when do you know? Maybe all of a sudden you realize I'm going up steps without holding on, or I don't have to crawl up them.
Mhm.
Things like that. I can get off the floor now. No, I
Yes.
can't still.
Yes.
So keep track of those things, because I didn't realize that I had lost mobility until I came and started working with this fabulous group of ladies who said, I couldn't do that. I'm thinking, oh, I used to crawl up the stairs, never thinking I had lost mobility. And because I gained it, now I'm going upstairs, like step, 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 step. And so sometimes we don't realize, it's like the frog in the boiling water, right? We don't realize we're there until we really get there.
Mhm.
And so keep track of what you're doing. Think of every little thing, whether,
Just close your eyes, take stock of where you're at now, and note some of the things in terms of where you're at, what you would like to change. And just note where you're at the moment with those, and then check back again in a month, 2 months, 3 months, because I am betting a lot of those things are going to change pretty substantially.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to start wrapping this up, because we typically shoot for around 20 minutes to spend with you, but it is so much fun to get together that we always go over time. And so we did again today, but we do have a lot of great stuff coming up, and we just enjoy being with you every Friday. So please join us tomorrow. And of course, we look forward to hopefully seeing you also at our Heart to Heart event coming up the following weekend, March 31, April 1 and 2. And see you all. Well, we won't see you next Friday because we're going to be at our Heart to Heart event.
That's true. We're canceling this show next Friday, aren't we?
So, but the following Friday, we will be here. So see everybody then. Bye-bye, everybody.